The movie opens with a flashback from when Mayori was a baby. Suddenly, during a family trip to see her grandparents in Komori village, the family is having a picnic under a mysterious tree, and everyone is relaxing. Suddenly, Mayori's mother asks her husband to buy her some manicures. This soon breaks a huge fight between the two. Amidst the fight, Mayori disappears, and her parents argue about being so far from the city. The entire family looks for baby Mayori. Her grandparents' black dog, Kuro, follows a frail trail to a huge cherry tree to discover the infant playing with a bear cub. But before we get on with the anime recap, please subscribe to our channel. Might be a small thing to you, but helps me grow and motivates me to post more often. Thanks. When the dog barks, the bear roars and suddenly swells to enormous proportions, turning Kuro totally white. Many spirits slowly become visible. The cherry tree spirit, who resembles a heavenly woman, takes up Mayori. She is one of the many forest spirits that exist in the forest. She tells Mayori that she has been waiting for her. The spirit introduces the forest as Mayori's forest. The narrative then flashes forward 10 years. Mayori is now a grumpy and pessimistic 10-year-old. She is upset to leave her city life and live with her father's parents in the countryside. Her father is sending her to live with her grandparents because her mother recently left the family, and he feels unable to care for Mayori and work at the same time. Mayori, who considers herself to be a contemporary city girl from Tokyo, feels mistreated and exiled from the family by being left alone in the country. Unknown to Mayori, soon, odd events will begin to take place. Mayori starts to feel familiar with the village. Mayori is glum and unsociable, even if her grandparents are wonderful and kind. Mayori's grandmother tells her to look around the village for some time. As she heads towards the forest, she checks the pictures of her family. Her phone doesn't have any reception, so Mayori throws her phone in the river. While out for a stroll, she soon falls in a hole and ends up near a beautiful cherry blossom tree. She lies down under the tree, and soon a large bear shows up. Eventually, a large tiger locates her and lies down by her side. Mayori clutches her teeth and stays still. As she drifts off to sleep, she gets a nightmare about her past in which her parents' marriage was collapsing and she was being bullied. The sad dream is then devoured by the amiable forest spirit Moguri, who also cries in sadness. Mayori wakes up and looks around. She sees that the beautiful cherry blossom tree is now a dead tree, and all the beautiful flowers are gone. Her grandfather along with white Kuro come to the location. Mayori remembers Kuro, and seeing him reminds her of being near the tree when she was young. Mayori goes back home and prepares some herbal medicines with her grandmother. She learns that her grandmother is regarded as a wise woman, even though she is also referred to as a witch by the townspeople for curing almost all diseases with plants and herbs. Her grandmother tells her that the cherry tree is a divine tree. It snapped in half during a lightning storm last year. Her grandmother notices a mark on Mayori's forehead and recognizes them to be Moguri's mark. She assures Mayori the spirits are not scary things. Mayori goes to bed for the first night, and soon, another spirit comes near her room and leaves her phone by the door. Mayori wakes up and takes a walk with Kuro. She follows the footprints up to the bridge. She forgets her phone once again on the bridge as she follows Kuro deep inside the dense forest. Kuro stops in front of the cherry tree. As she touches the tree, she starts seeing an old spirit, Negojai, and another tiger-looking spirit, Okuriko. Okuriko is the forest guard and Negojai is the forest's wise man. They are sad that Mayori has forgotten about them. Mayori, however, thinks all this to be a dream because of her stress from drastic environment change. As the moonlight shines brightly through the clouds, the other spirits surrounding the tree become visible. This scares Mayori, who thinks they are an illusion and nothing more. As soon as she sees Megori, she remembers her childhood once again. A flashback shows young Mayori playing with the spirits on the cherry tree. As soon as her parents find her, the spirits all disappear. Back to the present, Mayori rejects all that has happened in the past and runs away. Seeing how changed Mayori is, the spirits argue if she can continue her role as a human guardian of the forest. The next day, Mayori gets a little tour of her grandparents' house. When she goes to the upper floors, she is amazed and excited to see all the antiques. Her grandmother also shows her a tool to catch the spirit of the north wind. Next, Mayori finds a drum which was used to call the spirits of the forest in Siberia. All the antique collections seem to have taken Mayori's interest. As they descend down the stairs, Miyo's grandmother tells her that whatever she saw last night wasn't a dream but a reality. Mayori was chosen as the human guardian when she was young. Her grandmother also explains that so far she has been the guardian, and someday, when Mayori is ready, she will hand it over to Mayori. The next day, it's Mayori's first day in new school. Her grandmother wanted to walk her to the school, but Mayori insisted on going alone. She soon arrives at her school. The school gives her a grand welcome near the door. Kids are very curious about her life in Tokyo. Mayori spends her whole day in school, but struggles to fit in since she doesn't know how to handle the mix of younger and older kids who are much more honest and direct than her Tokyo classmates. She soon gets tired of all the questions and attention. Suddenly, she also runs into trouble with Dasuke, the bully. He throws a ball right towards her face, giving her a nosebleed. Mayori isn't the type to bear bullying and shoots the ball back. She finds a fresh spring that is haunted by the ghost of a lady who committed herself as she becomes increasingly irritated by the forest spirit's persistent pestering. The ghost informs Mayori that an impending dam will drown everything. As she leaves the spring, the spirits tell her that the ghost hung herself after being cheated by her husband. The ghost doesn't get along with humans or spirits. Turns out, Kanoko was the original lord of that spring. However, after her death, the woman's spirit turned into a vengeful ghost and chased Kanoko away. During her school the next day, Mayori ends up telling everyone how the town would submerge under the water. She also tells them the story of the ghost woman. Daisuke insists on going to the spring to find out for himself, so Mayori uses that information as fodder for a joke on him. Daisuke does not, though, and Mayori goes in search of him out of guilt. She discovers him being held by a ghost in a demon form who despises men, and they engage in combat. Mayori decides to start moving on after acknowledging that she has been blaming people for her predicament during the struggle. With the help of this realization, she is able to free the ghost and save Daisuke. As the two grow closer, Mayori decides to take her guardianship seriously and work to stop the dam from being built. Mayori calls for a gathering of the spirits in the middle of the night to ask for their assistance in locating the eagles, but nobody there knows where to look. She asks the wind spirit Fukurin for assistance after hearing a suggestion, and he consents to ask any eagles he encounters to think about residing in the forest. The following day, Mayori's mother offers again before leaving for home. Mayori declines, claiming she won't think about it unless her mother and father reconcile. Her mother agrees to at least speak with her father. One of the spirits, Bokuriko, worried that the eagles won't relocate to the forest before it's too late, transforms into an eagle, only for him and the kids to learn that the people building the dam are aiming to kill the eagles in order to make their construction easier. Bokuriko gets hurt but manages to get away. The cherry tree spirit helps him to recover. MIY0RI has a deeper awareness of the forest's importance to the world and makes the commitment to preserve it, even at the cost of her own life. She then organizes a large group of ghosts, and they consent to assist her in driving the dam people away. The next day, a huge number of hunters return to the area in an effort to find the damaged eagle. They are chased from the jungle by MIY0RI and the spirits who terrify the living daylights out of them, while the other village kids stop them from fleeing. Daisuke and the others see MIY0RI riding one of the woodland spirits shortly before the police show up to arrest them. After a month, things have settled down, and the neighborhood newspaper writes that it's likely that a family of eagles has moved in, destroying any prospect of the dam being completed. MIY0RI joyfully informs all the spirits that they are safe and declares her intention to remain and keep the forest safe. The film concludes with MIY0RI in the cherry tree, which is healing and will bloom the following year. If you enjoyed this recap, check out the next episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more anime recaps, turn on the bell notification for future uploads, and leave a like to help the channel out.